Plato was, and still is known, as possibly one of the most intelligent and revolutionary thinkers in philosophy. Plato's ideologies are so considerably advanced for his time due to not only the fact that he worked closely with other great philosophers who drew great inspiration from him, but that he literally changed and reinvented the way he wanted philosophy to be viewed through his analysis and works in ethical, political, metaphysical, and epistemological issues. In addition, his forward thinking contributed to the birth of the philosophical ideologies of rational thinking, genuine knowledge, and perfect form. Plato was a brilliant mind, but every brilliant mind is fueled by inspiration of some sort. In Plato's case, this source of inspiration was Socrates, Plato's teacher who worked very closely with Plato and even contributed to many of Plato's beliefs, who speaks in nearly all of Plato's dialogues. Socrates' Socratic method, defined as a form of rational thinking in which all parts of the questions at hand are addressed using specific analysis methods and research guidelines to gain an in-depth understanding of the questions raised during one's study. Plato very much drew inspiration from Socratic thinking, as his works highlight the importance of considering all attributes of a situation before trying to understand, reason, and draw a conclusion. Plato was always questioning why, how, and seeking to understand the true metaphysical of life and its various constituents. Aristotle also worked closely with Plato and drew inspiration from his ideas of rational thinking. Aristotle later went to challenge some of Plato's works considering reality, but the differences that Plato and some of his students had was indicative of the rich dialogue and discourse that occurred between them, and went to show that philosophy is constantly changing and brimming with new ideas, many of which Plato himself was responsible for developing and bringing to light. Plato was considered a revolutionary in philosophy, and some have even gone so far as to say that Plato's ideologies were grounds for reinvention in philosophy. On the basis of his contributions and ability to incorporate new aspects of analysis and thinking into modern-day philosophy, this statement holds true. Plato considers the idea that the world we see and perceive differs from the true reality of nature and that the world is flawed in some aspects. Plato is also known for his contrasting subjective statements regarding things as good, bad, unjust, just, and beautiful, and his studies are devoted to or dependent on this distinction that drove most of his ways of thinking. He investigated the true reality of what we perceive as goodness and why we associate certain things as being good or bad, and how we as humans characterize what is good and evil based on our own unique perceptions of this inherently flawed reality. Because of Plato's ability to work with and learn from other great philosophers, revise their ideologies to fit his own, and challenge views in such a way that he was able to rewrite philosophy, Plato is and will continue to be known as one of the most revolutionary and forward-thinking philosophers in all of history. Thank you for watching.